Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Still over here in Russia. I had to just go for a walk, man. I'm telling you, I'm feeling a bit chopped after last night, man. I'll tell you, my head's still banging after that England game, the dramatic penalty shootout. I don't know what it was like over there in the UK, but in the stadium it was absolutely electric. It was crazy, and for your heart, it's not good. I felt a bit sorry for David Ospina, of course, an Arsenal player, probably going to be on his way out actually now. He'll be able to come back to the UK and sort out his future at Arsenal, which is probably going to be away from Arsenal, but he can hold his head up high. He done well in the tournament, but his country, Colombia, are out and England progress. And listen, it felt weird, right, cheering for Tottenham players to try and score against an Arsenal goalkeeper in David Ospina. But listen, it's my country. I'm right behind my country. I want England to win the World Cup. And it was an awesome feeling last night for England to win. Also got a shout out my mate Styles. It was his birthday yesterday. Big Russian gooner. I was out till, I think it was over 5 o'clock in the morning before I got back in, man. So forgive me. My head's banging a bit here. But listen, transfer news. Now, interesting today that Arsenal linked with André Gomes. André Gomes of Barcelona. André Gomes, Portuguese player, 24 years of age, plays in the midfield, a really, really talented player. Now, Barcelona, they bought him for 35 million euros, but you have to say it hasn't gone well for him. It's been a bit of a flop. He hasn't really featured much for Barcelona, and hence, you know, he went from being like one of the biggest prospects in Portugal to not even making the Portuguese squad for the World Cup, which was really, really disappointing for him. Now, it looks like Barcelona are willing to let him leave the club. They're willing to try and make back as much money as possible on the money that they outlaid for him. And Arsenal are apparently very interested in his signature. This is another one of those players that Unai Emery knows from his time over there in La Liga. And he is willing to try and bring him in to Arsenal Football Club. So let's keep an eye on this one, because this is a real hot rumour flying around today. But Arsenal linked with André Gomes of Barcelona. They've also been linked today with a player that's been playing over in the World Cup and did really, really well, played really, really well. And that's the Mexican Hirving Lozano. Now, I've spoken about this before on the show, Hirving Lozano. He done brilliantly for Mexico. He's, as a matter of fact, one of their main guys. I was speaking to some of the Mexicans over here. They said, listen, if you're going to get a player from our team, Lozano is the guy that you should be trying to get. He, of course, plays for PSV Eindhoven in the Dutch league, and he had a great time there last season. He scored 19 goals, as a matter of fact, and he's really come to the attention of a lot of the top teams across Europe. Unai Emery's apparently a big admirer of Lozano and would be willing to try and bring him into Arsenal. Now, Lozano wants to leave. I think his dad was saying the other day that, you know, after the World Cup, he will be leaving PSV. Of course, Mexico out of the World Cup now. So, again, this is another one of these players where we're going to be able to get to find out over the next couple of weeks where his future lies. But it doesn't look like he will be staying at PSV. Will Arsenal make a move for Lozano? Let's wait and see. Another one of those rumours swirling around. Steven Nzonzi. Now, we've been linked to him right from the start of the transfer window. Defensive midfielder, 6'5", bags of experience, played under Unai Emery before. He's had a great season last year in La Liga for Sevilla, and now he's in the French squad, and he even played the other day. And he wants to leave. He wants to leave, and apparently the club he would like to join is Arsenal. We know that Arsenal have been interested in him, and apparently he's even put in a transfer request. We're being told that he said to Sevilla, "I want out after the World Cup." He's got a 35 million euro release clause, but I think he realises that at the age of 29, there's not going to be many clubs out there who are going to be willing to activate that release clause. It's just way too much money for a player of his stature and of his age. So I think he realises that to get out of the club, he's going to have to try and force the move, and it looks like that's what he's doing at the moment. He's trying to force it. Now, will Arsenal move in to try and sign him? I'm not sure about this now. Enzhi, I think, at the start of the transfer window, I was thinking to myself, yes, makes sense, played under Unai Emery. But now that it looks like Arsenal are going to be getting Torreira, where would Enzhi fit in? And as I said, it's not going to be cheap. Even if that release clause, you know, we can get past that, and, you know, this is the transfer request might negate that. But even if you get past that, it's still going to be about 20-odd million pounds. And I think Unai Emery might be looking at it and saying, I've already got a defensive midfielder now, that money might be better spent in another area. Or would he bring in sort of two type of players in that position? Who knows? But Enzhi looking to force a move, and he would love to be reunited with Unai Emery. And certainly, Nzonzi's the type of player that in the Premier League, I think he'd do brilliant. You look, he's got that size, he's got that physicality. He knows about the Premier League, having played there for Blackburn. You know, he in Stoke City. He knows about the Premier League. He would be a great player, I think, if we signed him. But the one thing that goes against him is the age, and also the Torreira thing. So I kind of think it would be unlikely. But let's see what happens with that one. Callum Chambers officially announcing yesterday that he signed a new deal with Arsenal. It's going to keep him at the club until 2021. I talked about this the other day, that Callum Chambers has got a lot to prove right now. You know, he's got a lot of potential, but he needs to fulfill that. And when I'm here watching England, and I'm sitting there and thinking, I want to see more Arsenal players in the team, Callum Chambers has an opportunity now with this 4-year contract to really try and cement himself into that team. He's got to prove himself now. It's now or never for Callum Chambers. Showed good glimpses of it towards the end of last season, but he's really got to kick on from this now. But he's been given a massive opportunity by Unai Emery. Unai Emery showing a lot of faith in Callum Chambers. Talking to Unai Emery, took his first training session for Arsenal yesterday, getting the players into shape. Of course, Socrates now has come in and joined his teammates that he knows from Dortmund. As I keep saying, with Dortmund Part 2 at the moment, Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang, so he would have joined them in the training session. But Unai Emery taking his first training. You know, it's really interesting. I met Ian Wright yesterday. I was walking around Red Square. I don't know if you saw the little video that I was doing. I was filming something on Instagram, and Ian Wright just popped up out of nowhere behind me. But we was having a chat after that. And Wrighty was saying to me that he's really infused by Unai Emery. He thinks that Unai Emery is going to do really good at Arsenal. He's telling me about a few of the things that he's heard behind the scenes from various people that is really, really encouraging. He had a conversation with Steve Bold, and some of the stuff that Steve Bold told him, Ian Wright is really, really encouraged, and he thinks that the club is moving forward under Unai Emery. He's doing all the right things at the moment, so let's hope that Unai Emery is really going to take this team forward. And finally, every day I pick out a player from yesterday's games that played that I think, yeah, at Arsenal, he'd work. Arsenal, go and try and bring him in, try and buy him. The player I'm going to pick out from yesterday's game is a Colombian, actually, and that is Yerry Mina. Wow, this guy is a colossus. He scored 3 goals in the tournament, all 3 of them towering headers from set pieces. He is awesome. He's a beast. He's about 6'4". He's a centre-back. He plays for Barcelona, but funny enough, he sort of played quite a few games towards the end of the season for Barcelona, but he didn't really figure much for Barcelona. And there's a lot of talk, actually, that they may be willing to, or before the World Cup anyway, they were saying that they'd be willing to let him go, Mina. But from what I've seen of him, he would suit the Premier League. As I said, this size, physicality, he's fairly quick. I thought he defended very well yesterday, although sometimes a bit over physical. And as I said, at set pieces, the guy rises like a salmon. I mean, he's almost unstoppable. And somebody like that in the Premier League would be a really effective weapon. So My pick for today is Yerry Mina of Colombia. Unfortunately for him, they're going home, but England is still here. Still over here in Russia. I'm going to be heading back to the UK this evening, but coming back out to Russia for the weekend for England's next game in the quarterfinals against Sweden. We get to be able to see Emil Forsberg, a player that we've been linked to, see what he's like in the flesh. But listen, thanks for watching the show. I got to go and grab some kip before I hit this flight. See you guys tomorrow.